Good evening, everyone. I am Neeraj from BITS Plani Campus, Rajasthan. So the title of my today's talk is Environment Friendly Flexible Perovskite Solar Cells for Self Power IoT Devices Under Indoor Lighting. Now let us look into the outlines. These will be the outlines of my presentation. So straight going towards the presentation, let me just explain the structure and working principle of the proposed device. Figure 1A shows the schematic structure of the cell power flexible perovskite solar cell. This structure basically consists of the 5 layers. First one is the front contact. Here we have selected the indium tin oxide as a front transparent contact, which provide the high heat conductivity for the charge collection and while maintaining the transparency in the visible spectrum. And PEN is used as a PN is the polyethylene naphthalate is used as a flexible substrate, which it has a higher thermal stability and the excellent optical transparency. Then second layer is act as the ETL layer. ETL is the electron transport layer. Here we have selected the tin sulfide as a ETL layer. This layer has a high carrier mobility and the wide band gap. Its conduction band minimum is well aligned with the absorber layer. Here absorber layer we have selected the ammonium methyl ammonium tin iodide as an absorber layer. This layer is used as a environmental friendly because there is no toxic element available in the absorber layer. Next one is the HTL layer. Here we have selected the copper barium tin sulfide as a whole transport layer. This layer has a high chemical stability and the non-toxic and is earth abundant. Next one is the silver nanowire graphene. The compound of the silver nanowire graphene is used as the back contact. We maintain the flexibility and the high electrical conductivity. We use the silver nanowire. Silver nanowire basically provide the high electrical conductivity, and the graphene used as a several function. The gap between the silver nanowire is reduced by the graphene, and the graphene protect the structure against the chemical degradation and the moisturization. So here we have used the white light emitting diode 1000 lux as an energy source under the radiation of 64.2 watt per meter square. When the light is incident by using the LED 1000 lux, then the electrons and holes pair are generated in the absorber layer. The electrons moving towards the ETL layer and holes moving toward the HTL layer. When the external load is connected across the electrode, then the current is flow from the bottom to top. Now coming to the methodology. Actually, solar cell is simulated by using the SCAPS-1D. SCAPS-1D is the solar cell capacitance simulator one dimension. It is basically simulate the thin film solar cell. It consists of the two type of the equations. First one is the Poisson equation. Here Poisson equation, here P and N are the free carrier electrons and hole, and D plus and Na minus are the ionized density of the donor and acceptor, and rho defect is the charge density of the defect. And second and third equation shows the continuity equation. Here G is the generation rate and the R is the recombination rate. DJN and DJP are the rate of change of the current density, electron density and the hole density. This is the interface of the SCAPS-1D software. Now moving to the attributes. This table shows the property of the material used in the initial model. The property of the material we have taken from the available literature. Now coming to the resultant discussion. After simulating the structure by using the SCAPS-1D, we have optimized the thickness of the absorber layer and temperature. Actually, absorber layer is a very crucial parameter in enhancing the performance of the photovoltaic cell. The thickness of the absorber layer is depend on the VOC and QSC. This figure 1 shows the variation in the absorber layer with respect to the different performance parameters such as the fill factor, power conversion efficiency, short circuit current, and the open circuit voltage. When the thickness of the absorber layer is increased from 0.055 micrometer to 0.55 micrometer, as you can see here, the blue color is the JSC. As the thickness is initially increased, the short circuit current density is initially increased. After the certain value, the JSC is decreases because the recombination loss occur in the bulk power generation. The thickness of the absorber layer impact on the diffusion length of the charge carrier. Similarly, the fill factor is initially increased, and after a certain value, the fill factor is decreased. The BOC before the 0.05 micrometer BOC is initially increased, and after that the decrease. The power black color shows the power conversion efficiency. Actually, power conversion efficiency is basically depend on the fill factor, BOC and JSC. So our proposed solar cell exhibited the maximum power conversion efficiency at a 0.204 micrometer. So if the absorber layer thickness is too very thick, the charge carriers may not be reached near the charge collected electrode. If the thickness of the absorber layer is too very thin, the absorber layer will not be able to absorb the incident light. So the thickness of the absorber layer is very important to optimize. The optimal thickness for the absorber layer is 0.204 micrometer. After that, fixing the thickness of the absorber layer, we have optimized the temperature. In mostly available solar cell, they have faced some difficulty regarding the stability. If the temperature is increased of the solar cell, the deformation is occur between the layer of the solar cell. Here we have identified the temperature effect on the performance of the solar cell. As you can see here, if the temperature is increased from 200 to 800 Kelvin, the fill factor is initially increased and after that decreased due to the higher recombination and the larger heat resistance. But BOC and power conversion efficiency is decreased. So the temperature is increased, all the performance parameter is decreased due to the higher heat resistance and the bulk recombination losses in the power generation. So the optimal temperature for this device is 300 Kelvin. After optimize the thickness and the temperature, we have got the final parameter of the solar cell. First one is the open circuit voltage is 0.986. The open circuit voltage for the perovskite is maximum 1.5 volt. This is the good open circuit voltage for the perovskite solar cell. And then fill factor is 70.303%, and the power conversion efficiency is 30.574. The fill factor is follow the squareness of the curve. So our flexible perovskite solar cell exhibit the maximum power conversion efficiency of 34.574%. Now comparison of our work with the reported existing perovskite solar cell. It is clear from the table second, our proposed flexible perovskite solar cell exhibited the maximum power conversion efficiency as compared to other perovskite solar cell. In this analysis, we have designed the methyl ammonium tin iodide based flexible perovskite solar cell by using the SCAS 1D. The design solar cell exhibited the maximum power conversion efficiency of 30.574% at the thickness of 204 nanometer. So our simulated flexible perovskite solar cell may be a good candidate for the wearable electronics and other low power indoor devices. Actually, the indoor devices require the power in the very low, in the range of microwatt to milliwatt. If we make a flexible piezoresistive pressure sensor, the flexible piezoresistive pressure sensor require the external power supply. In that case, we have applied the power supply by using the flexible perovskite solar cell. Then flexible piezoresistive pressure sensor, the current flow in the sensor and send the signal to the healthcare monitoring. So this perovskite solar cell is well suitable for the wearable devices. These are my references, and thank you.